The climate crisis.
It's climate change.
Green, renewable energy.
From financing the transition to clean energy, to protecting the world's forests and future-proofing its cities. There's a lot to discuss when the COP27 summit kicks off in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh on November the 6th. Let's take a look at the topics to watch. Countries at last year's COP26 talks in Glasgow agreed for the first time to phase down coal production and trim other fossil fuel subsidies. But the energy disruption caused by the war in Europe has led several EU members to reopen or extend coal plants' life. Meanwhile, China continues to approve new coal mines. The backsliding by major economies on their promises to shift from fossil fuels has led some nations, especially in Africa, to call for a formal recognition that they should be allowed to develop their fossil fuel reserves. Compensation for losses from climate-related disasters has never been part of the UN talks' formal agenda, but this year it will be a focus. Wealthy countries have resisted creating a funding mechanism that could suggest liability for historic climate damages. This year, developing countries are united in demanding that a loss and damage fund be established. High-income countries have yet to meet their pledge to deliver $100 billion a year in climate finance. Only $80 billion per year was delivered in 2019. Nonetheless, the talks will address boosting that annual goal upward from $100 billion from 2025. At the annual World Bank meetings last month, the US and Germany called for a fundamental reform of the bank to respond to challenges like climate change on a global scale rather than country by country. Some reformers are asking for more grants and concessional loans that would prevent lower and middle-income countries from having to pay high interest rates.
1.5 degrees.
Stable at 1.5 degrees.
1.5 Celsius.
At COP26, countries promised to revisit and strengthen their national climate plans to ensure they are aligned with the Paris Agreement goal of preventing warming beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial temperatures.
This is real progress in keeping 1.5 degrees within reach. Progress that we have made together.
But a UN report from this year showed that only 24 countries out of 194 have actually updated their plans, with the world remaining on a path to overshoot 2 degrees of warming beyond the pre-industrial average. Those to upgrade since COP26 include Indonesia and South Korea, as well as Australia, which pledged a 43% emissions cut by 2030 from 2005 levels. Meanwhile, Brazil's election of Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva as president bolsters global efforts to end deforestation.